Welcome to the Create Harmony podcast with Sally Burlington. This is a podcast about setting an intentional rhythm, about savoring life's blessings and learning how to use our imagination as a way of listening to God. If you want to learn more about how to bring stillness and gratitude into your life, you'll probably find a lot here that you love. And if you like to be creative and fun, there is a place for you here as well. In this place, we'll take a few minutes to celebrate everyday joys and remind ourselves how to notice goodness all around us.
Welcome back to episode 16 of the Create Harmony podcast. So last week, I introduced the concept of what I called deep listening. And as a reminder, we discussed the fact that deep listening is a form of opening ourselves to the conversations already going on inside our head and the conversation happening in the world around us. So our brains are already processing hundreds of thoughts every hour, and those repetitive thoughts are shaping the way we engage in our lives. Practicing more ways to clearly understand and process our thoughts will make our lives more productive overall. So now as I'm going further into this topic, I know that some of you all are thinking, oh boy, here we go. She's going to tell us we need to sit in silence for hours each day. She's going into some woo-woo realm. Where are my I can't meditators? I can't sit still. Raise your hand if that's you. People who are thinking, I liked her better when she was talking about mocktails. But stay with me here. I'm not asking you to leap into the deep end of meditation. I'm just suggesting that there might be ways you can open yourself right where you are that will help you clear your mind and settle your spirit. You will feel calmer as a result of these practices, and you can do them in very small doses and still see results. These deep listening patterns are a way of taking a beat in the course of your life to reflect on where you're going and what you want, and to listen to what God might be saying about all of that. Maybe deep listening for you is taking a quiet walk each day and paying attention to the things you see. Noticing nature is a beautiful way to begin the process. Another option might be setting a timer and closing your eyes for a minute or two at the end of each day. Start very small and see if you can work up to adding more of this in your life. Now, I'm the journaling type. I love to write things down on a piece of paper. But to clarify, I do not mean that I like to write pages out longhand about the things that happened to me today. But I do like jotting notes about my life, jotting things down on a piece of paper. And there are lots of forms of journaling that fall under the category of deep listening. You can be as creative as you like with the way this folds into your life. I especially like to capture information in the form of lists. I love nothing more than to make a list. So I even created what I call a list journal that I use as one of my deep listening practices. And here's how it works. I got a blank journal, and of course I chose a lovely one. Then I sit down and make a list of some sort. I started out by gathering a list of ideas I could use for future lists. The topics are endless, and you can be as creative as you like. You can really take this in a million different directions. For example, you could make a list of things that bring you joy. You could make a list of things you are grateful for. You could make a list of books you read last year. There are so many possibilities. At first, this sounds so simple that it seems like it won't matter. But if you find ways to communicate with yourself more effectively, you're going to be surprised at what you discover about what is going on inside your head. I'll give you a simple example of when this happened to me. One day I was making a list of ways that I liked to play when I was a child, things that I liked to do when I was a child. And it was something that I thought of to push me towards a more playful spirit in my life. I was thinking back through all those forms of play and writing them down. And when I looked back over the list, I realized that all of the things took place outside. And I thought about it for a minute, and I really couldn't remember much play that I loved indoors. I'm sure I did play indoors, but none of that really stuck with me as memories that I treasure. All of them were outdoor things. So my takeaway from that exercise is that I need to find more joy by getting outside and finding adult play in nature. I need to lean into that more. And having this simple list inspired me to see that as a goal. Hopefully, you'll have some insights about your lists as you begin deep listening. Keep tuning into Instagram and my monthly newsletter, and I'll be adding more ideas on list making and other ways of reflection. Feel free to share ideas you have with me as we journey along. So now it's time for our closing prayer. So if you will adjust into your posture of prayer, we'll get started. Lord, listening for us is hard. We are beginners. Come alongside our efforts to learn how to more deeply listen and show us the way. Help us to sense you in all that we do. You are in the wind, the sun, the rain. You are in each breath we take. You never leave us. Help us to settle our minds and our hearts in you. May it be so. Amen. Thanks for joining us today. And as we get started on this new year, I wanted to share a tool that I've been using that I think is really helpful in deepening my insights about where I'm going next. And it comes from a company called Cultivate What Matters. Now, before I tell you about this tool, I want to tell you, first of all, that I am in no way affiliated with them. I'm just a happy customer, so I'm just passing on something that's working for me. They sell lots of great planning and journaling tools, but my favorite is their Power Sheets Goal Planner. First of all, it's very attractive and it's easy to use. And secondly, it is filled with lots of self-reflection prompts and questions that get you thinking about what's most important. So for me, the Power Sheets Planner has helped set a rhythm of regular introspection and cultivating goals that are most important without getting to be too difficult and feeling like too much homework. I've really been surprised about the revelations and realizations that I've had while going through the process, and it has been a key tool in my deep listening for this year. You can find out more about their products at cultivatewhatmatters.com. Hopefully, you'll find something that works for you. Good luck in planning your next steps for the new year, and until next time, peace.